Greetings. Thank you for allowing me to take several minutes of your time to explain our stewardship needs for the current year. In doing that, I'd like to start off by explaining some basic concepts about our finances. Although our day-to-day lives run on a calendar year, January through December, our parish and its finances run on a fiscal year, July of one year to June of the following year. So fiscal year 22 ran from July 2021 to June 2022. That was 2 years ago. Fiscal year 23 ran from July 2022 to June 2023. That was last year. And fiscal year 24 is this year, running from July 2023 to June of 2024. To understand our finances, it's also important to understand the various envelopes or funds that we use. The most typical envelope is the weekly offertory, or first collection at Mass. There's also the monthly maintenance fund, which we used to call the $10 collection, and the poor box. These funds are called operating funds because they are used to cover the day-to-day operations of the parish. The next envelope is destined under the dome, which is the capital campaign to make major improvements to our campus. These are called capital funds and tend to go toward one-time major projects. Finally, there are the diocesan envelopes, which cover a variety of diocesan and national and international charities. None of these funds come to the parish. For this presentation, I'd like to focus on the two envelopes of our weekly offertory and our destined under the dome. The weekly offertory funds our day-to-day parish operations, the salaries of the staff, facilities expenses like gas and electric, heating and air conditioning, and ordinary repairs, and our pastoral programs such as Sunday school, live streaming, and music. Destined under the dome, on the other hand, funds major capital projects, or what we might call extraordinary expenses. These would include the installation of new restrooms in the church, new windows for the rectory, and a new roof on the parish center. Now, it's important to note that operating funds can always be used to pay for capital projects, but the opposite is not true. Capital funds may not be used to pay for operating expenses. Once you put money into Destined Under the Dome, it can only be used to pay for Destined Under the Dome projects. 2 years ago, the parish received $734,000 from both offertory and capital funds. Last year, those same funds brought in $792,000. That's a $58,000 increase, which you all so generously gave to us. Thank you so much. But let's look at how it came in. 2 years ago, we brought in $677,000 in offertory, whereas last year we only brought in $602,000. That's a $75,000 decrease in offertory, which means we had $75,000 less to pay our staff, maintain our buildings, and support our programs. On the other hand, 2 years ago, Destined Under the Dome received $57,000, while last year it brought in $190,000. That's a $133,000 increase. Wow, folks really want those new restrooms. The difficulty, however, is that if our offertory continues to decline, which it is currently, it may very well cause disruption to our ability to pay our day-to-day expenses. Staff salaries, facilities, and programs may go out of whack and might even have to be cut in order to align our expenses with our income. That's bad news all around. So here's what we want to do this year. We want to bring in the same amount of money overall, but just do it in different ways. We'd like to move our offertory from $602,000, which it was last year, to $697,000 this year, an increase of $95,000. But we're not going to ask for any more money. We'd like to decrease our Destined Under the Dome gifts this year from $190,000 to $95,000. That's a decrease of $95,000, which is fine for now because we have sufficient funds to install new restrooms already. So we can afford to shift funds from capital to operating without giving up our goals for Destined Under the Dome. And here's how we want to do it. We'd like to split our Destined Under the Dome income in half and move half of it to offertory. That will achieve the $95,000 shift we're looking for. And if we can do that, it won't mean a change in overall giving. It just means we need to be receiving it in a different way. So here's what we're asking you to do. Let's say you're currently giving us $40 a week, $20 a week in offertory, and $20 to Destined Under the Dome. This year, starting as soon as you can, next week if possible, we'd like you to split your Destined Under the Dome gift in half. Then we'd like you to take one half of it, $10 a week, and add it to your offertory. This will result in a $10 week increase in offertory and a corresponding decrease in Destined Under the Dome, and that's just fine. We need our offertory to go up, and we're fine with our Destined Under the Dome to go down for now. We release anyone who has made a pledge to the campaign and ask you to shift half your funds over to offertory. Now, that's not to say that if you want to increase your overall giving, that we'll say no. In that case, here's what we'll ask you to do. We'll ask you to still split your Destined Under the Dome gift in half, and then add that half to your offertory, and then add whatever extra amount you want to give to offertory, not to Destined Under the Dome, but to offertory. That'll end up being a terrific gift for us. And it will not only allow us to pay for the day-to-day ministry and operations, it'll help us grow, and the Destined Under the Dome funds will still allow us to achieve what we need at this time. If we end up having extra operating funds that we need to spend on capital projects, remember, we can always spend operating funds on capital projects. We just can't do it the other way around. We cannot use capital funds to pay for operating expenses. So I just want to thank everyone for the incredible support that you've been showing the parish. You donated more to the parish last year than you donated in each of the 10 previous years except for one. So I cannot thank you enough for your generosity. I don't need to ask you for more money this year. I just need to ask you to give it to us differently. Please give more to offertory and less to Destined Under the Dome. It's that simple. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and God bless you.